Welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Before I get started, guys, a little bit of housekeeping. Would like to say welcome and hello. Just a nice warm hello and welcome and hello to all of you joining us out there on the interwebs, on YouTube, wherever you might be joining us, your tablet, your phone, your device, your Google Glasses, your PC, your Mac, your Linux machine that you built yourself, out in the nerdatorium, whatever it might be, guys. Welcome and hello, bienvenidos. Thank you for joining us. Of course, it is Un Poco Mas Cafe, the show where I drink an excessive amount of espressos from my espresso robot and talk to you about my horrible stock picks because, as most of you know, I am the chunky stock monkey, everybody's favorite flunky. It's your boy, DJ Patchy Drizzle. No, they call me the tugboat because I'm short in stature. I pull more than my own weight. I'm rarely far from my home port. They call me Little Danny Cornbread DeCarlo because I am moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure. And they call me Stubby Cohiba because I once cut off the tip of my penis while manscaping with a Vitamix blender back in South Florida in 1982. So anywhere around the Boca Raton area, the Keys, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, they call me Stubby Cohiba. Some folks call me Stubby Macanudo. Just depends on what day I'm doing this horrible bit. But anyway, guys, welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Hopefully that was a sufficient intro. Been getting so many comments just asking for longer intros. You want me to say welcome and hello additional times just to kind of fill the void within. Guys, I'm working on a new system, man boobing for fun and profit. It's just going to be, you're going to get, if you're a chunky stock monkey, you want to just get out to the islands where there's some bigger people. You definitely don't want to be located in Los Angeles where everybody has like six-pack abs and an attitude and just looks down their nose at you. Say, who's this not a lurker? Where'd you get that trucker hat? None of your business, lady. You're wearing a silly felt safari hat out to get a fucking espresso and go to yoga. Why do you need a felt safari hat to go to yoga class in a Range Rover? Your big, stupid, bug-eyed glasses. Nobody's going to notice that you're aging poorly. Going out in yoga pants and getting a coffee is not doing yoga. Okay? Just wearing yoga pants. You're not working out. Like, I could wear stretch pants and wouldn't make me any more fit. Just scare small children. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello. What's up, Lisa? The great Carl Seamark, the mattress king of Chicago, is seen fit to grace us with his presence. It's the great Not a Lurker. The great Not a Lurker has joined us with his wrench, his mighty wrench. Reminds me of that Thor mechanic character in the great film Adventures in Babysitting. Of course, we are big fans of Adventures in Babysitting, Elizabeth Shue, all that here at Un Poco Mas. What's going on? The great Billy Jack, my big, beautiful brother, he has joined us. As you know, he is our representative out in Texarkana, the greater South, pretty much anywhere east of the Mississippi, south of the Mason-Dixon line. You want to get a hold of Un Poco Mas, you're going to talk to our old buddy Billy Jack. Anyway, guys, as you know, if you listen to me, I can ramble on. I have no focus. I have no point. I want to talk about SMCI. SMCI doing kind of well. It's, it's got that crazy waterfall open, popped up to 44.70 and then immediately dropped down to 42.88. So just dropped $2. Came back off and then just kind of still trying to break through that 44 area where we've seen some strong resistance. Volume today is picking back up a little bit, 24 million. I guess we got about, hour, 40 minutes left in the trading day. Now, CRISPR is a little bit of a different story. This is fake intraday volatility. This is just nonsense, basically. This is mechanic hacks fixing the price of the stock. Basically started $37.75, pumped it all the way up to $39. And then you see, look at the big dramatic moves on this stock. You see one, obviously, up to here, two to here, three here, four here, five back here. This one's almost hidden. 6, 7 here, 8 here, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 here. You could argue this is all one just waterfall. So 20, I mean, you're talking about almost 30 huge dramatic peaks and valleys within one day on this stock. And it's a stock that is shorted at an obscene level for no discernible reason. It's a stock that's owned almost 100% of the shares are owned by institutions. And when those institutions decide to run this thing up, it's going to be extraordinarily dramatic. I think this stock is going to make a move that is just going to be biblical. And, you know, I don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but I think it's very possible that they make, you know, another deal very, very soon. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Got a bunch of stuff going on. What's up, Christopher Smith? What's going to happen first? Or Big Danny gets his first U-turd silver. I don't want a plaque from U-turd. Let's see. No, it's going to 89. I think people are going to be shocked how fast these stocks actually go up. Now, there's not as big a short on SMCI as there is on CRISPR, but if you look at what just happened with HPE earnings and forecast Dell, if you look at how fast the Blackwell ramp is going and the demand for that, I mean, SMCI just opened another data center. Just constant wins are going to pile up, and the sales are going to be astronomical. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they hit that 40 billion figure. And coming off of like 22 billion going to 40 billion, if they're able to accomplish anything in that realm, I think this stock's already grossly undervalued, but it's going to be even more so. But just taking a look at CRISPR, this is a company with almost $2 billion in cash, almost no debt, partnered with Vertex, only CRISPR-approved therapy for their Cascavy, however you say that program, for sickle cell. They have a strong pipeline, CTX 310, 320. This is basically dealing with, cholesterol, cardiac stuff. So this next in vivo stuff, they already got some promising readout on some very early phase 1 data. So if you don't think any of these companies that own this are going to come in and, you know, buy these shares, and you're just stupid. Like Bayer owns 6% of the company, Vertex owns 6%, Celgene owns 4%, GlaxoSmithKline owns 3%. These companies are all potential partners. Big upfront cash payments, cost of development, distribution. All CRISPR really has to do is, you know, do the development, do the science, and then just sit back and collect money from these huge companies that they need CRISPR more than CRISPR needs them. CRISPR has the cash to go it alone. CRISPR has the cash to get to market with these things. But they don't need to. They don't need to assume all that risk. So if you look at who owns this company, 95% institutional shares. That's 75% regular institutions and 22% these big European pharma companies that own the rest of the shares. Now, think about it in that context. Only 5% of the shares at the very most are owned by retail investors and trading freely. Only 5% of, let me say that again, only 5% of the shares at the very most are owned by retail investors and trading freely. Now, look at the short today. They borrowed another 270,000 shares today. Yesterday, they borrowed another 50,000. They're not returning anything. There's 257,000 or 250,000 shares available. Cost to borrow max is running up. If you look at the short, it's already 25% of the free float, and they're borrowing an additional 5 million shares on top of that. Utilization 98%. How are they doing this every day? They go naked short with this intraday volatility. You know, they assume they can push it down and cover on the next day because it's, you know, the coverage now, so you don't fail to deliver. I think they're only giving you 2 days instead of 3, and it's going to go down to 1. Let's see here. Oh, sorry, guys. So much going on today. But anyway, I'm just looking at the totality of the circumstances surrounding this company and this short, and I cannot make any sense of it. I cannot understand their logic. I cannot understand their end game. I cannot understand their math. I can't understand where they're going to get the shares to cover if there's some announcement that runs this stock up. And honestly, with so few shares in the hands of retail investors truly trading, truly organically trading on the basis of supply and demand and price, you think about there's almost no shares. Okay, there's only 80 some million shares that exist, and they're already borrowing 27 million. It's 95% owned by institutions. There's another, 2% owned by the real insiders, the actual executives and such. But I don't know if I've ever seen a setup like this where the rookie shorts are just so, intent of stepping on their own testicles with their tap shoes. Give us a little dance there, Spider. Dance the drinks over here. Dance the drinks over here. I don't know. I've harped on this one enough, guys. CRSP, I'm not going to keep doing like daily videos on it, but I think the move is coming much sooner than later. I don't think this made any sense. If you look at kind of how this is coming off of this low here, you see it's making lower highs, it's wedging this way, and then it's making higher lows over the last 2 months here. I mean, this is coming into a wedge. It's just going to be epic. This move up is going to be epic, in my opinion. And I don't see how these shorts are going to cover their position, because I don't think anybody's going to sell them those shares to cover below 100. I'm not going to sell my shares below 100. I am not giving you financial advice. You'd be too stupid to take it anyway. Oh, I don't have any mini water. I got a pyramid of mini waters behind me right there. You might see my my mini water pyramid here. But anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. Let's see who's just incessantly texting me. Anyway, probably some bill collector trying to get a piece of my hide. It's all ball bearings these days, boys. Tortuga de Rio Tortuga. Dude, is that a serious question? How's CRISPR different than 23andMe or Theranos? Well, because that was a fraud. And this is a Nobel Prize winner, not some, lady with mental problems. How is it different than 23? Again, 23andMe was not the Human Genome Project, B-Dub star. 23andMe was not a cutting-edge science company. 23andMe is a marketing company that had incompetent management, didn't make any money. I mean, why don't you buy a star and name it after me and call that science, and just compare the buy a star company where they send you that fancy plaque? Why don't you compare that to CRISPR? That would be equally apt. Yeah. B-Dub, no offense, guy, but, or lady, sorry, I don't know. But if you need me to explain that to you, I don't know. Might look for another line of work. No. APLD. No, I haven't really looked at that stock, but I will. Oh, just tugging on the old boat of life there, cork on the ocean. What's going on, Tortuga? How you doing? Clap my dog, the great clap my dog. So anyway, you guys can do whatever you're going to do with this and just drop down below 38. I don't see the valuation here. I mean, you're essentially looking at $21 in cash per share. And so you're looking at the Vertex money that's basically guaranteed to come in. And then you're looking at essentially the pipeline being worth, what would be a couple $100 million at the most, when it should be worth billions and billions and billions. I mean, Vertex is paying billions just for that one treatment. It's fairly niche. Somebody made the point they bought an extra 10% of the program for $900 million in my comments. I don't remember that exact detail, but I mean, I assume everything you say down in the comments is vetted and correct, fact-checked, etc. But anyway, looking at SMCI, I mean, this is just a complete different story. I mean, they're not shorting, science and the leader of, gene editing. They're shorting a pure AI play that, they're shorting this into the Blackwell ramp. If you look at what happened with NVIDIA's last launch, this company went absolutely parabolic. I mean, that was this deal, back here. This company, went from 28 to 121. And their sales have gone from back in these days, 3 billion, now they're going from 14 billion to 22 billion. And everybody's saying that's horrible because they're only growing 50% on the top line. When any other company would cut off both, arms or testicles or what have you, to have numbers half that. I mean, they're growing faster than anybody. I was looking, they moved up 200 spots on the top Fortune 500 list in like 1 year. It's incredible. It's insane growth. And they're making money. And their balance sheet is good. People are like, oh, they're drowning in debt. They're going to have a poison pill payment to these senior secured notes. You're talking about a couple $100 million. You're talking about a rounding error for a company that could sell $40 billion this year. They're going to 10x their sales in just like 6-7 years. It's cray, guys. It is absolutely crazy. Got the great Naughty Lurker checking in on the ladies line. Wasn't able to get through. I want to hear from you. Hacksaw Lee Hamilton. I want to hear from a Colorado Rockies fan vacationing in Tijuana. Call me on the ladies line. Let's talk Minnesota Vikings football. I always connect these like totally random things. Only second favorite to my favorite is the coach, John Quintera. Just taking in a Torrey Pines junior high girls basketball game. Like riveting action. Final score 6-2. These girls played their hearts out. I love radio people. It's like a severe speech impediment. Just get out there anyway. Do their thing. What's going on? David Macarelli. Macaroni. All right, you David Macaroni. That's your mafia name. Sorry. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The stock is just completely undervalued. Heat Guy J, yeah, it's rocket ships, all that shit, man. It's going. I think SMCI is going to go back to all-time highs. This short went nowhere. There was no change in the numbers. They're not going to get arrested. You think Trump administration is going to arrest these guys? They just connected them with a $20 billion deal with Saudi Arabia. They're juiced in. They're like Chip Douglas. Free cable is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Cable guy. I'm going to put the system on trial. What's your real name? It's Larry Tate, but that's not important right now. Pretty weak cameo from Jack Black in that film. Never had to play porno password with your mother. Horrible. Macarena, one of my favorites. Joe Ramos Effect, one of my favorite shows. I believe he has what was that? Oscar the Grouch. Who's out there? If I can remember my Sesame Street. Cork on the Ocean. Liquid cooling is required to stop expensive AI chips from melting. Yeah, and who's leading the liquid cooling race? SMCI, my uncle Chuckie. HPE doesn't have product that can hold a candle to these guys. They're exploding. Dell is coming up. They're exploding. But I think SMCI is still going to get the biggest wins. They have the fastest time to market, the fastest time to operation, the best cost, highest density, best cooling. Best of it, all they had was some accounting difficulties. Because they're totally crooked. I mean, some accounting difficulties. I don't know. I haven't taken that hard a look at options because I'm not really playing SMCI options. I'm just I have a ton of SMCX and just a ton of shares right now. Market makers can control the price as long as they're willing to put in more and more and more money on SMCI. There's plenty of shares available. With CRISPR, no. With CRISPR, they're completely out of time, completely out of runway. That short is just totally whack. I mean, if you look at utilization on CRISPR, 98%. Okay, if you look at utilization on SMCI, I don't know what it is. I haven't looked at this, but I know it's like nowhere near. It's 44%. So it's just not even comparable. I mean, they have 140 million shares on loan, which granted is 25, but with CRISPR they have like 20. So they have like a third of the shares on loan, and there's no shares available to trade from that. So they can't buy shares. I'm telling you. And people are like, aren't you just like exaggerating this setup? This is like, they know what they're doing. No, no. The shorts are trapped. They're rookies. They have no plan. There was no reason to be this short this stock. The stock can't go bankrupt. It can't go out of business. Yes, maybe they're hoping for an adverse safety event that's going to drop the stock 15 or 20% overnight, and then they're going to cover. But they could have just covered at 29 very, very recently. And they chose to just continue to short. I have never seen a company this good in this position shorted anything like this. Heavy shorting is in this aggregate short volume ratio is like 50, 55 all month. For the last month, they've been shorting this from the mid 60s and into the 70s. This is like 7-8 days here. The ratio's in the 70s. That means almost all the shares traded are being sold short. Most of it's naked shorting. A lot of it's naked shorting. Because how are they keep shorting all these shares without borrowing more shares? There's no shares to borrow. They're utilizing all the shares. They're trying to flip this short day to day. But, they're not Harry Houdini. The math has to add up at some point, guys. How can these market makers keep defying reality, defying mathematics? Because it's crooked. They're crooked as hell. It's price fixing, double dealing, hammer candles. Look at these freaking candles on the daily. I mean, look at this stuff. The stock's falling 20 cents, going up 20 cents on a single candle. There's lots of candles with nothing trading. This is timed price fixing. Like, they can't just fix the bid and the ask. They can, they do, they are. Take advantage. This is free money. SMCI, I'm trying to tell you idiots. Like, oh, you couldn't make any. The stock went from 18. I was begging you guys to buy. Went with 65. Came back down 25. Back to 50. It's just, I don't know how you can't make money on these stocks. This fake volatility, these lame rookie douchebag shorts create. They're begging you to take their money. Oh, I hate you guys. Yeah, I mean, but Z is just, he's not afraid of Trump in the slightest. Trump, I think some of the deals he's going to get done, and we're going to get great deals, not with China. China's been preparing for this trade war since his last administration, and frankly, we did not have a strong plan going into this trade war. China could wait years. We can only wait months. Americans are huge, lazy, fat, stupid Karens who love ranch dressing and buying 50 of everything they don't need. Look at the George Carlin bit on fat mall walkers. You pretty much understand where I'm coming from and who I am. Because I am a fat Karen. Perfect example of what's wrong with America. This guy, and what's right with America. The great Billy Jack and the great Not a Lurker. Entitled, yep. people who have the best of everything, like especially like the upper middle class white males, who's like couldn't be born in America. You couldn't be born into a better freaking position in life. Complain the most. Victim mentality. I'm not a victim of anybody but myself. I make bad decisions. I'm fat. I'm lazy. I'm stupid. I'm impulsive. I'm an emotional trader. Be accountable. Learn from your mistakes. Stop letting these guys rickroll you like the punk ass biatch you are. We're not the fattest, actually. I think the Britain just got even fatter than we are. Dude, just take it. Take it, Matt. It's like a drunk guy with a wallet full of 100 just passed out on a bus bench. I mean, I'm not going to rob him, but maybe one of you guys are. I make my money the honest way. Uber. Dude, Samoans. Dude, I love Samoans because I'm man boobing for fun and profit. Let's see, guys. I got to get on out of here. I got an appointment at noon. I'm going to get back on a little bit, but guys, I appreciate you joining me. Sorry, that was perfect timing, but I got to run, and thanks for joining me. Peace.